For number 32, we see that this is a punctuation problem, and I can tell that because the only difference between the answer choices is that punctuation. Whenever we have these punctuation problems, we always want to consider whether we have independent or dependent clauses. Independent is a subject and a verb, and it can stand alone. Dependent are ones that are missing subject or verbs, or phrases that do not stand alone. So let's go ahead and read the sentence and check which we have here. It says, over time, I've gotten to know several of my co-working colleagues. Right there, that's a standalone sentence, so that's an independent clause. I'm going to go ahead and leave this little white dot. That's just a placeholder for whatever punctuation we decide to use. Next, let's read the next part. It says, another website developer, a graphic designer, a freelance writer, and several mobile app coders. That's dependent because clearly that cannot stand alone. So we have independent, some punctuation, and then dependent. So if you know what a semicolon does, a semicolon connects to independent clauses. So it would be independent, semicolon, independent, which we don't have here. So let's get rid of letter choice B and letter choice C. Letter choice C would work, but the only issue here is that the dependent clause is a list. And when we have a dependent clause that's a list, we're going to want to go ahead and use the colon. So the right answer is going to be A. Commas are usually independent and dependent clauses, but it's not a list. So if you do use that comma here, it gets a little confusing because it makes it sound like the coworker and colleagues are separated from these guys. The developer, the designer, the freelance, and the coder, which is not true. These are actually people a part of that greater category. And we definitely need some kind of punctuation, so it's not going to be letter choice D. So our answer is letter A.